Let's take you now to Simphiwe live for the latest update. Simphiwe, what's been happening so far?
Well, Desiree, it was a brief appearance inside the courtroom here to the Durban High Court, where the state informed the judge that some of the accused in this matter have requested for further particulars from the state, and the state is yet in a position to, furnish them with those further particulars, and therefore asking for some time in order for the state to be able to provide these accused with those, particulars that they requested, and the judge basically ruling on the matter, saying that the court case will commence on the 18th of July at the Pietermaritzburg High Court after the processes have been unfolded, after the processes have been wrapped up in terms of the the further particulars that have been requested by some of the accused in this matter. Where we are, Desiree, we are outside the Durban High Court. What you see in your visuals are some of the supporters of former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede, declared in their ANC regalia. Earlier on we were speaking to some of them, saying that they are not deterred by these charges that the former mayor is facing. You'd also recall, Desiree, that the eThekwini Regional Conference of the ANC, which is the biggest region of the ANC in the country, will be going to its elective conference sometime in April. And the supporters of former Mayor Zandile Gumede are vehement that they will still continue to support her despite the charges that she is facing, because they believe that these charges are politically orchestrated. And that's the view, of course, of the former mayor herself, who has been addressing the supporters since the arrest was effected more than 2 years ago, Desiree. But in terms of the current situation now, we are seeing the supporters standing up, chanting slogans that say Phakama Mam Zandile Gumede, and most of them, Desiree, are anticipating that very crucial regional conference that is going to be taking place here in about 2 weeks from now. But to say that this matter is basically about to be concluded would be wrong, because these charges that the former mayor and her 21 co-accused are facing been ongoing for more than 2 years. When she was arrested, that the NPA requested for more time in order for them to probe further into the nature of the charges. But in terms of the indictment now, that has been put before the court, we know that the former mayor Gumede is now the first accused in this matter, obviously being accused of plotting with some of the city officials, including the former city manager, in terms of awarding that Durban solid waste tender, which basically to the tune of over 300 million rand. She's also personally benefiting from that multi-million rand tender. It's not clear, Desiree, at this point if the former mayor will be coming to address these supporters, but we can certainly tell you that some of those who are close to her are definitely going to be addressing the crowd, energizing the supporters, telling them that basically they must hold on and let the processes unfold in terms of the law processes that are expected to commence come the 18th of July, when former Mayor Zandile Gumede goes to the Pietermaritzburg High Court to face those charges of corruption, fraud, racketeering and money laundering. Desiree.
Simphiwe, the former mayor has previously expressed court fatigue, just in terms of how many times she's had to come back. Are you able to give us a sense of her demeanor today?
Well, it was the same story again this morning, Desiree, really. When we spoke to, her supporters, they said that they anticipated this because they are accusing the state, really, of delaying tactics when it comes to, the commencement of this trial. But the twist this time around, Desiree, is that it's actually the accused who approached the state asking for further particulars to be provided, and therefore the accused cannot therefore say that the state is delaying this matter when it comes to today's, court appearance in particular. But we know, of course, Desiree, that in previous court appearances, the state has been asking, for, further, postponements in order for them to gather more evidence as they prepare for this very crucial trial that many people in the eThekwini district in particular are keen to find out in terms of what really happened with that more than 300 million rand Durban solid waste tender, which was issued by the eThekwini municipality during the tenure of Zandile Gumede when she was still the mayor of this metropolitan municipality, Desiree.
And Simphiwe, just in terms of the support, previously we could see supporters sprawling in the streets of Durban, and now they're confined to a tent. Is that an indication of a decrease or an increase in support, or is there a particular reason why this is the case?
There was a lot of momentum, Desiree, when the former mayor was initially charged, with these corruption charges, which led, of course, to her supporters, trying by all means to make their presence felt. We saw some of them earlier on, going to the provincial offices of the ANC, marching and saying, hands off Mam Zandile Gumede. But over the years, Desiree, it takes resources to mobilize a crowd such as this. And of course, that the former mayor is no longer the mayor of eThekwini municipality. So that may be a factor. But, when you speak to her supporters, they are still very much, confident of the kind of support that she enjoys on the ground when it comes to the branches of the ANC. Earlier on, when we were speaking to, Njabulo Mchunu, saying to us that about 70% of the branches that have set have nominated former Mayor Zandile Gumede to be re-elected as chairperson of the ANC in this region, Desiree.
Simphiwe, thank you so much for that update in the case of the former mayor of eThekwini and her co-accused.